Hey YouTube! I'm wearing this jumper because I realised that when I was wearing a black t-shirt you could actually see this Gregg Bennet Flying V. Samick Gregg Bennet GT. I found out since I got this who Gregg Bennet was. He was apparently originally the Washburn rep, did these and stuff like that, because I was talking to Billy Rankin, and that was why he was a Washburn, because he really liked Gregg Bennet. Apparently he was a really cool guy. I think he died a couple of years ago. So they're kind of like I was thinking of more of a sort of, like a Trev Wilkinson type or Alan Entwistle type dude who specs these things. This one's an MGT-1 / black, made in Indonesia. Oh, it's got a date on it. It does. It passed by Harry at 11:04. There you go. It's 20 years old. These used to be really expensive. When I got this, I was looking them up. They were 250 quid. For the Flying V one, you get a Les Paul one, which is like, I think the Flying V was maybe just a bit more desirable, or for some reason didn't make it for very long. I even got a wee, I can't remember where I got the gig bag. It didn't come with it. And we're talking, obviously, you can just tell the serious quality of this gig bag, but I mean, it's a gig bag that's got a strap on it. So I'm decided that this, I actually took this to the Download Festival. It was played a couple of years ago, 3 years ago maybe. And it's fine. Yeah, so Mini Flying V, it's pretty cool. I upgraded that. I've got a pure ridiculously over-spec'd bridge on it. I think it was missing when I got it. No, it wasn't missing. It was, it had like, see on a, obviously now I'm not going to have one lying about. No, I don't have one lying about. But you get this, no, there's one there actually. You get the bridge and the stop tail. Well, actually it had one of these, just the actual stop tail bit. So the strings were just coming over the top of it, and I get money off it because of that. That's not a bridge, that's a stop tail. And following day, the following day I was in Guitar looking at, was it a Les Paul Junior? And it was like $3.5 grand. It just had a stop tail. So maybe it's not meant to have an intonable bridge. You don't have individual intonation. You've got like, it's not a cheapy one. It's an up-spec'd one. The pickup I never changed because this one's really good. Volume and tone, output jack in a sensible place. This strap's probably not quite long enough for it. It's a little bit high, but I think it's totally cool. Scale length, I've got a feeling this has, I think I put 12s on this, so it's in standard tuning. I'd say that's a 19 point something inch scale, which is short, but the problem you always see me going about, it's not worth getting the short scale things. See those wee guitars you get, that the sort of kids ones, sometimes they've got a speaker built into them. Yes, they're an absolute pig to make play because they're just really, really, really cheap. This is not a really cheap guitar. This is a really good one, built to those specs, to that size. So basically, put 12s on, it's totally fine. Yeah. Take a wee bit of use to. I might overstretch myself a little bit here because the strings are a bit closer together. But the thing with these things, if you just put on a slightly heavier gauge of string, all the tension's fine. But why buy a travel guitar when you can have something like this? Oh yeah, and you get all these mini amps these days. I know you get your Black Star Fly. That's the bass version. That sort of thing. But I mean, I think these have been kicking about for 10 years or something like that. Nowadays, you can pick up wee portable things. There's a Spark that's like kind of like the size of your phone, or you can just plug it into your phone or whatever. But I mean, it's like one of those ones that you take it camping or whatever, and then realise really most of the time kind of loud enough, not even plugged in. But I think the reason this was so expensive, like I think it was artificially inflated at 250 quid because they were rare and desirable and turned out to be good. But it's that whole idea about making, I get it. They make the kids guitar. Oh, the kid wants a guitar, just get them one of those things. The problem with those wee guitars, unless you've bought one off me, and I've spent 3 hours making the wee bastard play, they don't work. You've got to put thicker strings on them. You've got to be really accurate with the nut. You've got to be doubly accurate with everything because there's less leeway. Like on a bass, if something's a couple of millimetres out, the bass is this long. It's like a couple of millimetres doesn't make it, but it's only this long, so a couple of millimetres makes it wrong. You've got to be pure, super accurate with everything. But it's just, it comes down to it's just the quality of these things. I mean, this was maybe a bit of a failed experiment for him. The idea of making like a small kid's guitar, but making it good. So people are going to look at this and go, it's a couple £100. All right, there's one for $49.99 in Argos. That look is red. We'll have that one, and it's like there's no point. You'd have to really, really be wanting to play the guitar to actually learn to play in one of those things. On this, you totally could. So here we go. I'm playing through like a big expensive tube amp and all that stuff, which there's an argument to be said for it will sound better than if I was playing through, the wee Black Star Flyer, a headphone amp or something like that. But there's also an argument for, I've had guitars before and they sound fine in the house, and then you take them into the studio and you play them through a real amp and stuff like that, and they really, really suffer. You really can't get away with it's. Not so much nowadays, even like the cheapest Squires and stuff like that, they do have decent pickups in them. But if you're going back 10, 15 years, or you're looking at a guitar like, your Marlin Sidewinders and stuff like that, they can't handle, they're not for that. They're for playing in the house and playing through a wee 10-watt tranny amp. They can't handle a big amp. You really notice that they've got no dynamic range whatsoever, and they just sound awful, and they feedback and scream and all that. This one doesn't, because it's an expensive one, which I suppose doesn't really make any difference if you're playing through a wee 2-watt radio thing, but it's good to have that option. Yeah, so I'm going to get the rat pedal on, obviously, because it's a Flying V, and Flying Vs do distortion, don't they? The pickup's in a good position because it's kind of, I would just say it's just a middle pickup. I was completely wasted. I'm working down. So frustrated as I drift from town to town. You don't know what it's like. You can't remember the chords. If you did find yourself doing things too. Breaking the law, breaking the law. Breaking the law, breaking the law. What I really need to do is, what I should have done is play this for 10 minutes before I started doing this. It's one of those ones that it's like, all the missed notes and the ones that aren't ringing properly is me just missing it because I've been playing the bass this morning, so it's like, the bass, the frets are twice the size. but it's got a bit of beef to it. How am I to talk? This is maybe a video because I'm just going to put this up for sale. Still not. I've not managed to purchase a car yet, so just getting rid of things that have been lying about. It's just it was so cool, you know what I mean? It's like I figured it was one of those ones that it's a guitar that I kind of wanted to go to somebody I know because it's really good. That makes sense to anyone? You know, you get stuff you sell. I've got a couple lying about like that. It's like kind of, you know, not worth tons of money, but it's like I don't just want anybody to get it. It's got to be somebody that's worthy of it, you know. But I mean, I'll talk about ultimate travel guitar. I mean, none of this crazy looking stuff. And to be honest, you just get used to the slightly short scale, no problem. Just you got to remember to put 12s on it, not 9s or 8s or something like that, because it'll just be too, the tension won't be good enough. But this plays totally fine. Struggling a wee bit up here because the frets are so close together, because it's like a mandolin or something. I've got big bass playing fingers, and there's my finger covering 2 whole frets. So, yeah, so you need to be a wee bit more fingertippy. But I mean, I've set this up to play like a neoclassical shredding speed machine. So I mean, I've done it. I've done all the frets and all that. Right, song 10. I've been playing this. I was doing my live stream last night and I was playing this and I messed it up. I've been singing it since I woke up. It's really annoying. I was going to say it's easier to actually make that last reach, but that was the wrong note. So here we go. I can't play the chords. Yeah, so there you go. It's one of those things that, see, because it's really good, I mean, it does have a slightly different everything to a normal guitar, just because it's short scale, just to say that that's the size of a Flying V. It's quite a bit weird. I mean, you couldn't have a kid with a Flying V. They're too big. It's the same size. It's the same size as a small child. Okay, maybe not. What's that? 3.5 feet, something like that. Maybe nearly 4 feet. Possibly taller than R2D2. Kenny Baker. But I mean, I was just saying there, it's possible you could actually be like a, see if you're doing like home recording and stuff, you can probably do things on this you can't do on a normal guitar just because the reach is there. Okay, that's me. That's me reaching from the D to the A. You know what I mean? That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frets. And I'm not, that's me in the middle of the fretboard, not even up at the top. Eight frets. 9 frets. This is on. Oh, sound is on. Faster than that. Does it muff? See why I didn't change the pickup. It just gives it a completely different. It's a different vibe to guitar. I was kind of enjoying that. There's definitely that. This is what's happened every year. I've kind of gone, oh, I should probably sell that around about Christmas. And I've gone and played it and going, actually, I can find a use for this. I suppose you're talking about on your plane luggage, it'll totally fit. Yeah, so basically just don't get these mixed up with the wee ones that you get in Argos for 50 quid, or you used to get in Argos for 50 quid. It's a proper guitar in a shorter scale. I suppose it's probably, I suppose it's a wee bit like the Ibanez Paul Gilbert Mini type thing. I noticed as well, it's got 2 strap buttons. That's pretty cool. So, left-handed option. Well, this strap's a bit shit. You can have this free with it if you're buying it. So you can just flip it around, and then I don't think the knobs would really get in the way that much. No, I don't think they would, because the knobs are kind of here. If it was left-handed, they would be here. So it works left-handed as well, and I don't think you wouldn't get because of the shape of the body. You know, they're behind the bridge. You're not playing with your arm behind the bridge. That would be silly. So, it could be left-handed. To be honest, I think it sits against the wall quite nicely, which I thought was quite nice. I should probably do that. I take it I never did it with this. Oh, this one does actually have a hole there somewhere. Maybe this one's been left-handed at some point as well. Just kind of looks right. I don't think... No, I think they are original, because they both look exactly the same. I was wondering if one was slightly different and someone had done it. But no, just come with 2. No expenses spared. See, that's where you get in with, when you start getting down to your number crunching to make your cheap guitars, your Harley Bentons and stuff like that. What? Put that on. That costs money. Okay, probably in the large scheme of things it costs 5 pence. But you don't put that. You could save 5 pence on a Harley Benton? We'll save that 5 pence. We're making 10,000 of them. That 5 pence and 10,000 becomes, hundreds of quid. No, fantastic wee thing. Let's say it's a bolt-on neck, if that's makes a difference with these things. But I mean, it's not. It's not heavy either. You may have kind of worked out the fact that I can do that, but in fact that might be a good thumbnail if I just kind of hold it up like that and go. If I get it right, that stupid light shining on it. No matter what I do, I'll turn it off. Sorry, talk amongst yourself. There you go. I see. This is my issue. I'm not as bad now as I used to be, but I used to just not like black guitars, partly because, obviously, a bit of an egomaniac. But when I was playing the guitar, I had a mirror on my wall. In fact, the mirror's there. And so you've just bought a new guitar, and it's like, there's an element of, I'm not just now because I can see myself in it, so I can see the guitar, but if you just bought a new guitar, when you're playing it, you can't see it. So the tendency is to look at yourself in the mirror when you're playing, make sure it's cool. Not looking at myself, I'm looking at the guitar, because when you're playing it, you can't see it from the front. And if the problem here is like, yes, so here's my guitar, I've got a grey jumper on, but normally most band t-shirts are black, and then, there you go, the guitar has completely disappeared because the background's black. That was actually why I bought all those psychedelic tie-dye t-shirts, so that when I was wearing a black guitar, it didn't just melt into what I was wearing. These things are important. What's the point in sounding cool if you don't look cool? And you can't look much cooler than this. I mean, imagine the kid that gets this for Christmas. Got a lot of guitars. My pals are getting guitars, and they've got their, wee mini guitars and, the cheapest Squire Strat, your East Coast. And it's I've got this flying V. Especially if you're sort of a shorter person, which must count for something. I just don't think there's the same, it doesn't have that thing that the wee guitars normally have, where somebody like me who's played for years can play it, but it's a bit, oh no, you can't do that. This is just kind of like, okay, the strings are a bit, so if I'm doing a slide, it's like I might go too far kind of thing, but actually all the notes sound fine. You don't need to do any special technique. You don't need to be really lightweight, which you often have to do with wee guitars. This one maybe it doesn't sound great, but you can play it. Got reverb on there. A wee bit of drive, sort of subtle drive. So I'll need to cut a segment out of this for a sales video. Rock on. Catch y'all later.